sincere gratitude to Professor Jaishankar sir and Dr. Guru Prasad Garu, a visionary leader, as Rajesh told, and it's so nice to interact with him, and we rarely have such people among educationalists. So it's my pleasure to deliver this lecture on magnetic nanomaterials. As you know, magnetic materials are a category of functional materials. But my talk, the first part of my talk will be addressing these questions. Why materials are important? What's the role of materials in new technologies? Why science is important? Because most of you are pursuing science as a career. And what are advanced materials, the definitions with some examples, and what are smart materials, what are the applications of smart material. These are the things I want to cover in my lecture today. But before that, let me ask you a question. Why materials are important? So this is an interactive session, and I want to hear from you. Why you think materials are important? Why you think materials are important? Yeah, tell. Why materials are important? Yeah. Yes. It is useful for? Yes, very good. And any other answers? Any other? Okay, so I have to talk a little bit more about the importance of materials. See, if we go back to 6,000 or 9,000 years back, none of the materials that are available today were present. You agree? None of the materials. The ancestors lived with the stone. Stone was the material used for everything, to create fire, to shape things, to cut trees. And this picture depicts that era. That era is called Stone Age era. No materials, no metals, no plastics, no glasses, no ceramics, nothing. Okay, that era is called the Stone Age era. Then what happened? We learned the art of making materials like copper, bronze. These are the materials made first. That was in 3000 BC and 2000 BC. And you can see, when it is made, when we learn the process of making bronze and copper, many things could be made using those materials. It becomes easier to cut trees. It is easier to make weapons. It is easier to protect. The soldiers use these materials, okay, for fighting in the war. Only this material, even that point of time, the process of making glass was not known. The process of making iron was not known. So these were the two materials between 3000 and 2000 BC. Then only we learned the art of making iron. So we could build bridges, automobiles, bullock cart, all these things because of the iron, from the iron ore. Okay, so then somewhere there you can also see the glasses were made in 1500 AC. That's the time when the glasses, the process of making glasses from the beach sand is developed. So you can see the bridges and many technologies came because of the invention of, or because of our knowledge of making iron and casting materials using these metals. Then you can see a lot of new materials emerged between 1500 AC and 1950. And even the process of making the aluminum or polymers, composite materials, all these materials were developed between 18 and 1900. Look at one significant thing here, the silicon, which is the heart of all electronic gadgets that we have today. The silicon, the process of making silicon was learned somewhere in mid-90s. So that is the reason why we have all these gadgets that we have today, because of the process of making silicon wafers, which made new technologies. A technological revolution happened because of our understanding and knowledge of making silicon wafers. And then we see all kinds of materials today. The composite materials, plastics, ceramics, nanomaterials, all these materials. And so in this picture what you see is the division of human civilization into ages based on the material dominated over a period of time. So you go from Stone Age era, then the bronze was the material which dominated, then it was the iron was the material which dominated, and then silicon, and we are now in an era called materials age. So what we understand from this is materials have been instrumental in our migration from Stone Age era to the present era called materials age. And materials are the key ingredients to any technology and driving force for continued progress and societal change. And in material science, we study the relationship between the structure and properties of material, which is very, very important to improve and make materials with the desired properties for specific applications. This is very, very important. So, the development in materials and new materials enabled us to move from the Stone Age era, which is depicted here as soldier in the Stone Age era, to the present era, where the soldier has so many technologies, to fight in wars. And we have moved from this kind of family to this family with all gadgets, all technologies, and classrooms look like this now because of materials. Okay, so now you understand the importance of material. So I would say it is not only material. The science, materials, processing, and engineering. We have to give due credits to all this. The science, materials, our understanding about materials, and then of course the materials alone will not give you product.